Hi, and welcome back to some Sun River shenanigans.
It's raining outside today. It was a good day to have an inside project.
Yes.
I want to show you this really cute tablecloth I found at a thrift store. Well, no, it was a yard sale last summer. Got home and opened it up. Found a little problem.
There's a big hole.
I was thinking about finding a way to patch it because I really like the tablecloth. And Dayton had the idea that maybe we could make an apron out of it.
Yeah.
Maybe even two.
Yeah.
We've made aprons together before and they turned out really nice. And we actually had one cut out that we haven't sewn together yet. So today we're going to use it for a pattern to lay on the tablecloth and cut it out and make a brand new apron.
Woohoo! Let's get aproning.
So first we laid down the apron and we doubled it up because we're making 2 aprons. And we have our pattern from a previous apron that we were going to make. So lay it all out, make it look good. And that's our turtle with the pins. And we'll go around and pin all the edges and make sure you leave the fringe at the bottom because we're not going to cut there. It's for fun. And in total, you're going to have 5 pieces if you can do a pocket. We'll see what we can do.
And what we do here, Dayton cut that part off and then set it aside for now, and we'll go back and pin on the pattern for the side ties and the neck piece, and we'll see if we have enough left over for pockets.
And you can make a apron like this if you just have an old apron around the house. You just use that as a guide and give yourself an extra inch around each piece so you have enough wiggle room to fold and pin and hem it all together. So you don't need a pattern already cut out. It does make it easier, but you can just use an old apron.
Yeah, if you have one that's you really like the style of it, but it's just worn out, well, use it for a new one.
So now Granny's going to go through and hem the sides. She's going to take in about a 1/2 inch and iron and then go back over and do another 1/2 inch. So overall you're taking an inch out of the side, out of every side, except for in this case the bottom because we wanted to have that little fun fringe down there.
But if your fabric you're using doesn't have trim like that, then you would go ahead and hem the bottom at the same time. But I am the expert ironer, so this was my task. And have your iron really hot because that's your best friend. It really holds that in place for when it's time to sew.
Speed it up a little. And now we're going to do our side straps. So these guys are a little different. You're still going to hem it just like all the others, and you're going to go around about 1/2 inch around each side of the rectangle, and then you're going to go back through after you get all those edges, and you're going to fold them in to the middle so they're touching, kind of like a sleeping bag or a tent. Kind of fold up, and that way the edge of your hems are on the inside and it's all covered up. Like if you had any loose strings or a weird cut or something, you can't see none of it. And then you're gonna go back through after they're touching.
Iron it really good again. We'll put a few pins in it, but the ironing really mostly holds it in place so you can guide it through when it's time to start stitching it up on the machine.
And that last fold, we just folded it over itself, so it's right in half, like hot dog style. And then you're gonna go through and pin it, and now it's like a nice sleek, long strand that's thick enough for like tying and holding up your apron and not breaking off or fraying or anything like that. It's ready to go.
And then we'll do 2, just the same, so 1 for each side. And then when those are done, we'll do the neck piece. And there's the neck piece.
And the next piece is really similar. It's just a wider cut, so it might look a little different, but the same goal. You're just trying to get all of your edges in there and make it sturdy enough to withstand your neck and keep your clothes on, you know.
You could really make it the same. You could make it the same width, whatever width you want. You can make it the same as the ties if you wanted, but it's just more comfortable to have a little wider piece behind your neck, I think.
Yeah, and it's not rubbing or making marks or nothing like that. So we did have some extra pieces, enough to make a pocket. And the pocket's really similar. You just want to get all your sides in there so nothing's sticking out and it's all looking good. We wanted to use the fringe though because it's the funnest part of the tablecloth, and we're gonna have a little fringe topping there for our pockets. It's more fun, you know.
So we ironed that down again. That'll hold it where we want it. You may want to grab a tape measure and measure as you go just to make sure it's even, but you can kind of eyeball it pretty well.
Then you want to pin it up, make sure it's not going nowhere until you're ready to sew. And then you got all 5 pieces. So we're going to start with the big piece, the main apron. And you're just going to go along all the sides. You want to stop and take out the pins as you go because you don't want to break your needle and by hitting a pin. You also want to check your stitch. Make sure it's not some crazy one from something you did earlier, you know. Have it look nice and sleek and cute for your little apron.
Just a normal straight stitch. It's a pretty simple craft making an apron, but it works best if you're careful as you go and sew straight and cut straight, iron straight.
Yeah, and if you hit all the corners right, you shouldn't have to move around most of your cloth. There it is! Yay! We got it! It's looking good. Try it out. Make sure. Yeah, that's an apron. So now we're going to do the sides. You want to make sure you go along the open side because it doesn't do much help to go along the closed side. But it's very similar to everything else we're sewing. And these ones are even easier because it's just a straight line. So you get those ends and then you just zoom on down.
If you had some kind of a strap that you thought would work for the ties, you could use that instead. I don't know what it might be, some sort of sewing trim that you might have, or even a heavy ribbon you could sew onto each side, but
Yeah.
we decided to do it this way.
Just need your side straps, that's all. Now we're going to do the neck piece, and pretty much the same thing. It's just a little wider, so straight down the side. Make sure you close that gap. Don't do the already closed side. Not much help there. And yeah, cut all your strings, make it look good. Now you got a neck strap. And now we're gonna connect all those straps that we just created. And this part can be a little thicker because you have your strap, which is all folded up, and the side of your apron on a corner, which is all folded up too. So when I did it on the sewing machine, I used the hand crank on the side just to make sure that I wasn't going too fast or like, I don't know, rushing it in a way that might break the needle because of how thick the fabric was. It does take a little bit longer, but it's not that bad. You just want to make sure they're really on there because, like, you don't want to pull on a strap and it just comes all the way off.
We're a little bit careful with our little sewing machine because it's a really nice singer machine and perfect for anything that we need to do usually, but it's not one of those heavy duty ones, so we don't want to break the needle or over stress it, so we're a little bit gentle with it.
Yeah, but now it's all connected, and now we're going to do the other one, and just make them look good. However you want to do it. You could even do a little design on the edge or something to just really keep it in place there and make it all work out. Ooh, there it is.
The ties. Now
The ties are
we
connected.
can tie it.
Now we're going to see about the neck strap, because this is something that you'll definitely want to measure, because everyone has a different comfortable style of like a neck strap. Like some people like it when it's tighter, some people like it when it's looser. You still want to make sure that it can get over your head. You don't want to get it on there and be like, well, this doesn't work. Back to the sewing machine. So that's kind of what we're doing now. We want to make sure it works out. And yeah, it comes off and on. We did tighten it up a little. We only moved one side though, because there's no
Yeah.
use in cutting both sides. So just put one side where it's good and leave your little extra on the other side, and you can just cut it off.
Yeah, when it looked to me like it was a little bit loose and saggy, so we took about another inch off, I think, and that was better. And Dayton could still fit it over her enormous head.
There I go now. Woohoo!
Her beautiful average size head.
Now we got an apron. Yeah, 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 yeah. Next, with our extra fabric, we want to see where that pocket's gonna go.
There's the pocket.
Yeah, we want to make sure it's like not too low or too high. You could always do one up high more for like, pens or glasses.
Yeah, just
or
up on the bib part at the top. People
Yeah.
like a pocket there too, or you could do one down low and a smaller one at the top. Or this
Yeah,
is your
put
design. So
pockets wherever you want.
yeah,
There's
whatever
20 pockets on there. Hold the
Whatever
whole
suits
kitchen
you.
in your pockets.
Sometimes you might be a person that has a pair of glasses that go in and out of the pocket all day long, and you might want just a little pocket for that, or a pen, or maybe one for your phone. So
Yeah. So we decided on a big pocket in the middle, but we also wanted to sew a strip right down the middle, so then we have two side pockets. Or not side, but two pockets altogether.
yeah, we sewed right down the center, so that it was like two pockets side by side.
And now we're going to sew, we just sewed on the neck strap, but now we want to sew that fringe to the pocket so it's not flapping all over the place or folding over, getting stuck in anything. We just want to really secure it down. Just make it as straight as you can, because that's part of the design, so you don't want it to be all over the place. But now that the fringe is on, we have put it back on the apron, and now we're going to connect that pocket to the apron. Just don't sew the top, because then it won't be a pocket. It'll just be a square. You want to make sure you can still use it.
Leave the top open.
And you just go all the way around, except for the top. And then you're going to go straight down the middle, so you have two pockets instead of one giant one. I mean, you could always do one giant one, but in my opinion, I think I just lose everything in my pocket in the giant pocket.
I have to say, our little turtle has been a great sport through all of this.
Look at us. We did our aprons. Pretty little fringe along the bottom. And we had enough fabric left to make these fancy pockets. With trim.
Shoe my pocket.
Out of an old tablecloth with a big hole in it that we were just gonna do I don't know what with, and look at this. Now we got aprons. Woohoo! So hope you think about things you might have around the house that you could repurpose this way.
Create something wonderful instead of just throwing it away. And yeah, you'll see our aprons in our next video as well.
Thanks for visiting.
Bye!